Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Real ZB. As you will remember, we are currently in the middle of a tax planning series for tax year 2026. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to maximize your deductions so that you are able to pay less tax. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to stay tuned. Welcome to week 2 of the tax planning series, where we discuss all the things that you need to know before the start of the 2026 tax year. Last week we covered all of our bases, all of the basics, and this week we are going to be talking about how to make sure that you take advantage of tax deductions that are available to you. Now, like I said in the previous video, this is going to be super general, super basic, so that even someone who's not sure about their taxes can be able to follow and understand what is happening. When I use terms like income, taxable income, gross income, stuff like that, I will not be using them in the strict sense, as in the definitions that you learn in class, you accountants, okay? I will be using them interchangeably so that what I'm talking about, many more people are able to follow on. So before we get into maximizing your tax deductions, let's first understand exactly what a tax deduction is. A tax deduction is basically certain expenses that SARS allows you to minus from your taxable income so that you end up paying less tax. So as an example, if you are earning 500,000 Rand this year and then you get 50,000 Rand allowable expenses to be deducted, then instead of 500,000 Rand, your taxable income is going to be 450,000 Rand. And that is the amount on which the tax tables that we spoke about in the previous videos will be applied to in order to get your tax liability. So all in all, qualifying for these deductions in essence means that you will pay less tax at the end of the day. Now that we've covered that, let's talk about the process step by step of what you need to do to ensure that you are taking advantage of all the deductions that you are qualifying for in the next tax year, okay? Step number 1 is getting to know what deductions you qualify for, or getting to know what deductions apply to your certain circumstance. There are so many deductions out there, okay? And I just want to spend some time to sort of briefly make you aware of some of the most common ones that majority of you will probably come across. The first one that I want to speak about is your contributions into some sort of retirement annuity, pension fund, and so on, okay? The next one that I want to speak about is not a deduction, but it's actually a tax credit. And this is for those of you who are contributing every single month to a medical aid, okay? So let's refresh last week's knowledge a little bit. Tax credits and rebates come after your tax liability has been calculated. So SARS will take your taxable income, apply the tax tables, and get how much tax you must be charged. Rebates will be taken out, and then the medical aid tax credits will be taken out as well. Okay, so if you are the principal member contributing to a medical aid, you will qualify for a medical scheme fees tax credit, and this is how much you are able to save on your tax liability for contributing to those medical schemes. Now, another medical expense that you are able to claim for is if you are on a medical aid, but then some of your medication or your procedures that you had to go through were not covered for the medical aid, or a portion was covered and you had to pay something out of your own pocket in order to cover those medical expenses, you are able to claim for those medical expenses as well. So make sure from the 1st of March, if you pay for your glasses, if you pay for a doctor's visit out of your own pocket, anything medical related, keep those receipts, keep those certificates, and make sure that when you're doing your tax refund, you plug in all of those things so that you can be able to get the advantage. Now, you might only be able to claim a portion of these expenses because this specific tax credit is limited to a certain threshold that is dependent on your income. One of the newer deductions that SARS introduced is home office deduction, okay? And this is available for those of you who are freelancers or people who work remotely from home. Now, the most important thing about this is that you need to be working from home in a designated space for at least 50% of the time, okay? This allows you to then be able to claim expenses such as a portion of your rent, your electricity, your utilities, and so on and so forth. Now, the tricky thing here that you need to remember is that this is only applicable to you if your employer requires you to work from home. So for a lot of us, we are in a situation where we are able to work from the office, but we're also able to work from home. But the office is there whenever you need it, and you're not actually required to work from home. So that deduction is not applicable to people like me. It's only applicable to people whose employers have said that we require you to work from home for the whole week or for half of the week or whatever it may be, and people who are also self-employed, such as freelancers, okay, that work from home. Something else that you might want to use to reduce your taxable income is the travel allowances, okay? If you use your own vehicle for business purposes, then SARS will allow you to be able to claim towards those kilometers and apply a certain rate to those kilometers to determine how much you can reduce your taxable income by. Bear in mind that here you're not allowed to claim your personal expenses, it's just your business expenses. So it's so important for you to be keeping a detailed logbook that shows exactly what the business kilometers were. SARS updates the rates that you can claim for a travel allowance every year. So make sure before you file that you know exactly what the rates are or what the relevant rates are. Next one is work-related expenses, and this is more for you entrepreneurs or you or the people who are freelancers, and we will talk about this more in the next video. So things such as your equipment, all of the things that you need to run your business, your day-to-day expenses, such as your office rent, your utilities, equipment, and so on and so forth, that you use in your business, you might be able to claim those as deductions to make your taxable income a little bit less as well. But we'll speak about freelancers and small businesses in the next video. The few deductions that I've just spoken about are not the exhaustive list of deductions that are available. It's just some of the more common ones that I feel like you should be aware of. So obviously when you're doing your own taxes, you will have a lot more that are applicable to you, more than the general ones that I've spoken about. If you really need help with your taxes, remember to consult a tax professional. If you would like me to help you, then I'll leave my email down in the description box and we can go through what deductions are available to you in a consultation. So that was all step one, getting to know what deductions are available to you. Step two is to now keep proper documentation of all of the expenses that relate to those deductions. Like I said, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Every time you make a business purchase or you have a business expense, you buy something for your business, keep it in your file, digitally, physically, whichever one works for you, both if you want to go that far. But make sure that you are keeping record of every single expense, or every single expense that will qualify you for a deduction. Specifically as well, for those of you who are going to be claiming the travel expense, make sure that you have a detailed logbook and you keep on updating your logbook as you ride along. It's easier to do it as you go or as the year goes than trying to remember what your business kilometers were and what your personal kilometers were and just thumb sucking something out of your head. It's easier to just every trip record what is what. These cars that they have these days are quite fancy, so you are able to, set up your car or look on your car exactly where you traveled and who you traveled to see. And you can sort of draw reports from your car or your car tracker that will help you be able to keep your logbook up to date as well. But if you don't have that technology available to you, then keep a detailed spreadsheet or whatever manual logbook so that you know exactly what kilometers are personal and what kilometers are business. Oh my word, it is literally so hot. It's so hot, it's actually unbearably hot. So I just had to go cool down for a second. But we're back and we're going to be talking about step 3 in our process to making sure that we take advantage of our deductions. So as step 3, to use or make use of tax planning tools in order to make your life a lot easier. SARS does have a free tax calculator that you can use just to see how much your taxable income or your tax liability will go down, making use of certain deductions and all of that stuff. But you can also use a platform called TaxTim. I've spoken about TaxTim before, and I've actually used TaxTim before in the past. This is not sponsored. The first time that I had to file my taxes, even being an accounting professional, okay, I made use of TaxTim. I paid, I think it was about 620 Rand back then. And then I was reimbursed the 100% through my bank's reward system. So I got that 620 Rand back. I don't know if that's still something that is going on, but it really helped me be able to, number one, be comfortable with filing my own taxes, and also just practically seeing how how that works in practice. So yeah, if you really want to do your own taxes but you still think you need help, then it would be a good idea to explore those things such as TaxTim. If you don't have the money to pay a tax professional, or if you don't want to make use of a tax professional for some reason, TaxTim is a great platform. They do have a lot of free resources on there. You are able to actually semi-calculate your refund for free on there as many times as you like. But if you would like to make use of them to be able to file your taxes, then you have, and they will charge for that service. And yeah, I cannot recommend them enough. So if you really need some help, or if it's your first time, or if it's your first proper time that you want to try and do it, it's very educational. They sort of explain each and every line item, what you should be putting in, what document you need to be looking at. And I think, especially for first timers, it's such a good platform to use. But like I said, there are a lot of free resources out there. Um, so you're able to make use of those just to sort of estimate what your tax is going to be, especially if you're someone who is uh, a full-time, I was about to say a full-time freelancer who gets all of their money in their hand at the beginning, and then they have to pay their taxes at the end. Okay, luckily for people who are employed, you get your money withheld from you. You don't even see that paye in your account, because it's straight deducted out of your payslip, and you don't get access to that money. But as someone who maybe does campaigns for a living, you get your full amount, and then you sort of have to figure out how much tax to sort of set aside in order for you to be on the right side of SARS. So those are great tools for you to be able to estimate by each paycheck that you get. You estimate by, okay, this year I'm going to make R1,000,000 off campaigns. I'm going to be allowed these deductions. So this is going to be my taxable income. So this is how much I need to be maybe saving for my taxes at the end of it. So these are really great tools for you, especially in order for you to be on top of your taxes. Another app that I've also used in the past is 227. So 227 is majority like a budgeting app, but it can also tell you what taxes, what expenses are tax deductible as well. So if you are on that platform, you are able to make use of that as well to help you. Like I keep saying, and I will keep reiterating, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to make use of a tax professional. If you would like me to help you out, then I will leave my email in the description box, but you don't have to make use of my services. You can find yourself whatever tax professional you feel comfortable with, that will help you go along with your taxes, especially if it's your first time or if your taxes are a little bit complex. Okay, so book a consultation by emailing me. We'll have a chat through your taxes and see how we can be able to structure or plan for the next financial year. But you are free to choose whoever you would like to work with, but it's always a good idea to sit and work with somebody who knows exactly what is going on. That concludes our 3-step process on taking advantage of your tax deductions. So let's recap. Step 1, get to know all of your deductions. Okay. Step 2, make sure you've got proper documentation or evidence to show banyani these are valid deductions that you're able to claim. And step 3, make use of tax planning tools or professionals that will help you be able to take advantage of all of the deductions that you qualify for, so that you don't miss out on any tax benefits. Now, I want to hear from you. If you've ever filed your taxes before, what did you find to be the most difficult or frustrating part of it? Let me know in the comment section below. If you found this video to be helpful, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and share it to people that you think will benefit from the topic. I will see you next week when we're talking about freelancers and small businesses. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.